Right, contents of the box. Installation guide. Manual. Driver disc. And some sort of case badge. Won't be using that. IDE connectors. And looks like SATA connectors. Dodgy coloured SATA connectors. I won't be using them either. You've got a eSATA, 2 eSATAs and a Molex power connector on the back of there. I've not seen a Molex power connector on the back before. I suppose that probably would help power the external drive, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose that's what it's for. But still, I've never seen one with that on it like that. I suppose that makes it easier. Okay, and another SATA cable. And then, I don't know what these are. There could be black SATA cables. They look like black SATA cables. These bigger ones at the top look like a... Oh, they're your hard drive. I don't even know. Yeah, that top one, in fact, is a hard drive thing. The bottom one looks like a black SATA connection again. I mean, if they're including black SATA connections, why would they bother including them ones? Don't understand that. Anyway, I won't be using any of this stuff anyway. Backplate. Is it padded? Probably not. No. Metal. Probably cut your fingers on that. Just lately, the Asus one and my previous 790 for the Win EVGA one had padded backplate, which is quite nice, but this is just solid metal. SLI connector, blue SLI connector. Not really into that either. Some kind of bracket. I assume that's for the passive heat pipe thing. And what is this? A little SLI connector. It's probably actually a crossfire, maybe. I don't know, but it looks a bit close. Suppose if you use the 2 slots, which will probably be crossfire, I'd assume. So maybe it is a crossfire. I don't know. Alright, let's get this crap out of the way. Got the motherboard open. I'll show you around this just quickly, I suppose. You got your RAID, 4 of them, and you got another 6 here, SATA drives. Same as most other boards. You got 6 DIMM slots. Supports up to 24 gigs, I think. 3 PCI Express slots. If you run 2 SLI, it's 1616. If you run 3 SLI, it's 1688. Apparently you shouldn't really notice any performance loss with that, as it's PCI 2.0, so there's plenty of bandwidth anyway, which doesn't get used. So, as I said, you probably shouldn't notice any performance loss. Dual BIOS, which is really good. Nothing worse than having a dodgy BIOS flash. At least you know you've got another one. Or you could have one of your BIOS set up just for normal. I don't know, one of the BIOS on one, another BIOS on another, for testing purposes. Or you could use one for overclocking and one just for normal use, so you no chance of damaging one or the other. Heat pipe design with water block on the north bridge. really wish they just would cut this pipe out like a lot of boards have done. There's really no need for this, just gets in the way. Also you get this if you're not going to be using the water block, then you can use this monstrosity. What do they call it? Hybrid something. It says it on it. Let me see. Hybrid silent pipe. Ooh. Well, that sort of sits on there, sort of like that. It goes onto your back panel. I think if you use this, you will lose that. So you won't be able to use that, although you're not really going to use that for much anyway, I don't think, because if the card's any long, one of those just tall cards you might, but the bigger cards, you ain't got a chance because you can hit straight into that. A lot of people have actually been moaning about that sort of stuff. One good thing I like about this board is people are getting good results overclocking wise, and when I take these off, the blocks I already have will go straight on, no problem. I'm not going to need any different blocks, so that's a good thing. I can use the blocks that I've already got. One thing I don't like about the board is the colours that they use. I mean, look at it. I mean, they've improved it, because the one they were showing off originally, like an early revision, had lovely bright pink, and that was bright purple. But they've changed all they got rid of most of the nastiness about the board, but still, I think, and I don't know what's wrong with the people at Gigabyte. They seem to make these boards either the guy who designs them is colourblind or gay, I suppose. One or the other. Gay or colourblind. But yeah, I mean, they've managed to leave the peachy colour in there, and turquoise blue. I mean, why they couldn't just make this black, who knows? But I don't design the board, they do. But at the end of the day, again, you're not really going to see any of it anyway, because the graphics card is going to cover all of that nastiness, and the memory is going to cover all that shit. So pretty much the colours, not really an issue with that. Although you're probably not going to see, because these LEDs are tiny. There's a whole load of LEDs here, and I think there's a whole load up here as well, or even here. And apparently when you turn the board on, that looks like a Christmas tree, and I really don't know whether I'm going to like that. I really don't know. There's something to do with the showing you voltages, whether they're high, low, medium, or temperatures, one or the other, or both, I'm not sure. There's a whole load of LEDs there anyway, and when you boot the board up and you're running the board, pretty much it lights up. So we'll see whether I like that or not. And one thing I'm noticing, actually, they've included two IDE. Not in a nice position, really. And they've even got a flop. There's the same, yeah, one for your floppy and one for your IDE hard drive. And also, something else, what I've just noticed is the PCI slots at the bottom again, which means my graphics card is going to be overhanging the board. And one problem I would have had if I'd ever got to use a piece of shit up there, it's the same. If you notice, like PCI slot at the bottom, is that all of this here would have been useless, because basically I wouldn't be able to get anything in, and I'm thinking this is probably going to be the same, so that means this USB port and this USB port for the front panel are not going to be usable, I don't think. We'll see when it comes to installing it. But now the test is to boot it up and see if that XFX card that worked in the 790 that didn't work in the Asus. See if it works in this. Hopefully it will. If it does,